When it comes to this program, when you hear enough stories about other people, in time, you'll start to understand that the life you thought you were missing out on, the people you didn't meet, the doors that closed, the path that never opened, weren't failures. They were protection. Distance from the wrong situation is still a blessing, even if it doesn't feel like one in the moment. And when you look back at everything, your perspective would change. You stop seeing yourself as someone being singled out for destruction, and instead someone being kept out of a system that would have destroyed you in the inside and in the long run. Not every opportunity is meant to be taken. Not every dollar is worth earning. There's a price behind certain choices that most people don't see until it's too late. In the story, the people who buy into that system, the ones who sign up thinking they're getting power, quick money, or some shortcut to influence, don't realize what they're trading away. They think it's easy. They think they're stepping into a better life, but once they cross that line, they're locked in. Satan really owns these people, whether they know it or not. But you'll know the ones who know it. You know, they seem to glamorize it. But the part that nobody glamorizes is the consequences, the paranoia you have, the constant looking over your shoulder, the loss of peace, the guilt that hits you in those quiet moments. All the wrong things that you did seem to come back to you. You can't stop thinking about it. You dream about it. They learn the hard way that nothing is free, especially when the cost is your integrity. So when you finally understand that, you stop envying the people on the other side. You see the truth of what they're living with, and you realize you'll rather stand where you are, with your conscience clean, with your faith intact, than to trade your soul for something that was never worth having. You'll rather die broke with God than be involved with anything that's not of Him.
Stop saying it's a blessing from God. It's not a blessing. It's a blessing from the devil. The devil give you all this money, go through all this shit to destroy yourself. You destroy yourself. This is not God blessing, my nigga. They always tell you what the good part about, but they never tell you what the bad part. Yeah, they got all this money, but they dealing with emo spirits.
You've taken quite a liking to it. No reason to act surprised.
They dealing with killing themselves. Don't think their life is good. It's not. These people are always faking and let you know that this is not what y'all want. Do something that's low-key. Do something that can help you out. Because God can take this away from you real quick. And it's not a blessing from God. And I tell people that 24/7, this is the devil's game. That's why the game would never end, because there's always somebody that want to be like somebody else. Don't think these people's life is good, man.
That grass ain't greener on the other side. Oh, yeah. That grass ain't greener on the other side. Oh, yeah.
Now, the next part is very important. They're going to take you.
I want to tell you about a girl who ended up being missing due to all the heavy witchcraft she'd been doing. See, when you step into a world built on evil, power, manipulation, selfishness, and greed, the protection you once had start to slip. And when you do too much wrong and that shit start coming back to you, when that happen, the predators notice. They move in fast. They take advantage of the gaps you don't realize you left open, the doors you left open, the spirits they have with them, and your spirits, they start inviting them in. Most people don't understand how dangerous their surroundings really are. Most people don't realize they are surrounded by snakes and wolves looking to devour them. Imagine that. Imagine going back and not knowing you are a targeted individual. That's a dangerous situation. But once they're finally being accepted, they think they found a group, a purpose, a sense of belonging, a feeling they've been missing out on their whole life. But sometimes what look like belonging is a trap disguised as opportunity. The story I'm about to tell you is a reminder. You have to be intentional about who you let into your life. Pay attention to what people offer you, what they ask in return, and the ways they try to get close to you. Be careful about who you trust with your body, your time, your energy, because not everyone you meet has good intentions. Some people are driven by greed, some by desire, some by insecurity dressed up as confidence, and none of that benefits you in the end. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. One wrong circle, one wrong relationship, one wrong favor can shift your whole path. Stop your whole process. Trust your instincts, but don't deceive yourself. Discern people's spirit and never overlook the red flags.
God dang on. Before Lex took this, her being missing, Lex was I don't know, she was dealing with some kind of spiritual root shit. I don't know what was going on. She just been talking outside her head. You know what I'm saying? So Tuesday night, 1:30 in the morning, she called me out. She called, wake me up, talking about some TJ. She say, I know you sleep. I know you got to work in the morning. She say, but let me tell you something right quick. I'm like, what you talking about, Lit? What's up? She talking about some, well, my last 5 exes within the last 7 years, they died. Huh? What you talking about? She said, I wish death upon them. I said, bro, you is tripping. You know what I'm saying? You need help, man. Get off my phone. You talking crazy. I'm home.
We often overlook how vindictive people can be. Just because we not like that doesn't mean others aren't. In the past, I had dealt with a lot of women. I wasn't perfect. I was in my player stage. And I know for a fact one of them could have been vindictive enough to probably put me in this program. It's not always family. It can be a lover, because this program is witchcraft. Someone could have hexed you, put a spell on you, put something on you, did something with your signature, put something in your name, did something with your body fluids. There's so many witches warlocks out here. You can't trust nobody, let alone sleeping. I'm the one. Because they seeking control over people's minds. And when you have sex, y'all exchanging energies, and you don't know what these people got on them. And they out here practicing and dabbling with outside forces that they think they know about, that they think they know what they doing, but they really don't. Because the truth is, with this spell work, it will always backfire. I know you've seen the signs with some of your perpetrators. They start losing weight. They start aging. They start to miss body parts. They start ending up injured all of a sudden. End up sick. God was serious when he said don't touch or hurt his anointed, but people learn the hard way. Another thing is, with these root workers, they don't know that when you try to hurt someone that's spiritually protected, they're going to be in big trouble, and their spell will boomerang back to them tenfold.
Go. She started sending me all type of pictures of a ladybug crawling on the ceiling, what the meanings of it, her Pisces sign, all type of weird talk. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? I know she been going through something mentally. I don't know what's going on, and that shit hurt me. So that Sunday, I called my cousin. I said, "Cuz, you going to church?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Man, I'm gonna pull up. I'm going to church today." You know what I'm saying? So I pulled up. I sat in the car. I ain't even get out the car, man. I'm shedding tears because this shit hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen it like this. So you know what I'm saying? I go to church. We go to church. Leave church. Now, mind me now, before I went to church, Lex didn't even want me to go to church. She kept on saying, TJ, don't go to church. I keep seeing you dying in oncoming traffic, like a car gonna hit you head on. She saw me a car crash, which I got in my inbox, or somebody got killed on the head on car crash. I'm like, Lex, man, listen. One thing about it, you can't stop death. You feel me? Like, whatever happened, gonna happen. I ain't scared of it. I ain't scared of death. You know what I'm saying? We all gotta go.
And that's another thing. Evil people do not like Christian music. They do not like to go to church. I go to church, but I don't believe you have to go to church to receive God. But usually the ones who aren't for you never want to go to church. And the funny thing is, evil people, the gangstalkers, they be in the church too. But when you don't live your life in fear like they do, because all the evil shit they have done and did, because you have a clear conscience, unlike them, they have to bring up all these what ifs as if they try to install fear in you. And you got to check it, because God didn't give you a spirit of fear. He told you to walk boldly around your enemies. And that's something they just don't have or can't comprehend.
So she was like, well, come and meet me on 29 at 7-Eleven if we can get the kids. She said, I'm about to run out of gas. I got like 3 miles left. I said, okay. So as she talking, she like, TJ, watch out for these cars. Watch out for a white car, gray car, black car. Now, mind me, now I'm like, okay, let's.
This witchcraft shit is tied to gang stalking. So is the V2K. I feel like You either open the doors up to this shit or you trusted the wrong person, didn't know, which isn't a penalty, but because you didn't know, so you still protected.
I put on speakerphone, let my cousin them everybody hear. So I'm like, okay, I'm on my way. So my cousin like, boy, go get your son, boy. So I was like, shit, I say no more. I doubt him up. We left. I pull up at 7-Eleven. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting at the gas pump. I get out, go in the car. Go in the stove. I pump 35 in her gas tank, and I put 20 in mine. I come back in, come back out, get my son out the car. You know what I'm saying? She asked me, could Naomi go with me, her daughter? I was like, yeah, she can go. So I was like, she said, okay. She said, TJ, watch out for this car. She kept pointing at cars, like white car, black car, gray car. She said, watch out for these cars. She said, matter of fact, don't stop at no red lights. So I'm like, man, what you mean? I said, babe, you need help. You need to get some help. So I'm like, she was like, she know, TJ, I'm telling you. She's like, give me a hug me. So I hugged her. You know what I'm saying? The hug didn't feel right. Something wasn't right. So I got there and hugged, got in the car, and I pulled off. For y'all, the one that's in Anderson, I turn on Amity Road as I pass Welfare Church. I barely passed Welfare Church. And she got dang on, she sped around me. Bus right going out Anderson Belton Highway. So I just started calling. I'm like, where the hell she going? She supposed to been following me to my mama's house. So she said she was going to her mama's house. So I'm like, damn, I started calling. I called about 3 times. She cut the phone off. So I go to the house. You feel me? I'm going to the house. So goddamn on, I call her mama. I'm like, man, you talk to Lit? She supposed to be coming out now. She was like, nah, I ain't talk to her. She said, so she like, I like, man, she got the phone off. I got the kids. You feel me? So I'm like, she say, okay, I'm finna call her now. So she started calling on Facebook. Calling. I ain't getting no response. We hear nothing else no more. I ain't hear nothing else. You feel?
So after she went to this gas station, she just disappeared. And remember, I was telling y'all about these gas stations. These gas stations be gangstalking hubs where they sit around all day doing surveillance. You know, the homeless people, all the street gangs, they just sit at these gas stations and these Masonic ritualistic killings. You know, they be setting people up, stage accidents, death by accidents. That's why when you go to any gas station, you can feel that evil energy. Like, and I don't believe he's innocent either. You know, the devil is in the details. They kind of gotta show you in a way, but his shirt looks like the Baphomet to me, with the one hand pointing up and the other pointing down. But I'm saying all this to say this situation is all that awaits you outside of God's protection. A bunch of witchcraft, warlocks, sacrificing, abuse. There's no love out here. Stay sober and vigilant.
I mean, it's gotten really messy. But you can't overlook key details in the case. Some details can't be overlooked. The devil is in the details. And in this video right here, we're going to look at a couple of things. So, come on, ride with me.
Hey, it's your neighbor upstairs.
What's up?
I was letting you know that I ain't gonna lie, I do like root work and shit like that, but good and bad.
Now, we should all be familiar with this ring footage by now. And it happened on Wednesday, January the 26th, just a few days prior to her going missing. And when she approached this neighbor's door, the neighbor didn't open the door, but she's talking to her through the ring footage. And it was like the very first thing that came out of Alexa's mouth was, I ain't gonna lie, I do root work, both good and bad. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I couldn't understand why she led with that. Like I pointed out in the last video, clearly they wasn't that cool, okay? But it was still like, why lead the conversation with that? It felt like in that very moment that an explanation was needed. But for what though? That's what I couldn't figure out. Then there was some information that had come out about Alexis burying a box near her apartment. And at first I was like, what? She was burying a box? For what? But then when I started to research root work, it seems burying things is common practice when dealing with root work, okay? Now, her sister and her aunt did an interview over on Neek at Night's on her platform. And if you haven't watched the whole video, the whole interview, I would suggest going over there and watching it. But there was a few things that came out in that interview that I felt like needed to be addressed. Listen to what the aunt says about this box. Pay attention.
But the neighbor did say she dug up a box.
In her apartment building?
Outside.
Is there
outside
any,
of the
is there any dig holes around there?
I didn't go personally and look. The activist Tracy said her and her people did go up there. But no, I haven't been up there. She said, my sister said the box is not there. But Tracy did go up there and she said that she did see that something was dug up outside.
Yeah. So the neighbor who recorded this ring footage told them that Alexis was seen digging up a box. Don't nobody know where the box is at. None of that. Okay? But the aunt said she didn't go over there. Now, Alexis was living in Rocky Creek Apartments during this time. And the aunt told us that the black activist on the case named Tracy went over to these apartments and she witnessed what appeared to be an area that looked like something had been dug up. But again, nobody knows where this box is. Okay? Based off of that information, it explained a few things. And first and foremost, it explained why she even went to the neighbor's house. If they're telling them that they saw her back there digging up something, then in my mind, Alexis saw them watching her. You understand what I mean? And then she went to the neighbor's house to explain herself, to explain what it was she was doing out there. Which is why when she knocked on that lady's door, she led with this whole shit about root work. They saw her. And not only that, that's probably why the neighbor didn't open the damn door. Because understand this. Imagine seeing your neighbor digging up something in the backyard and then all of a sudden they at your door. You gonna open the door? I'm not. I'm scared. Because I don't know what it is you up to. See? And it explains what it was she had in her hand and what she was using this for. I thought it was a cake cutter because that's what it looked like to me. Some people was calling it a knife. Don't even know. But it looks like a tool you can use to dig up something. So when Alexis approached this neighbor's door, she was caught in an act, which is why she needed to explain herself and why she still had that thing in her hand. Now, since I've started researching this case, what I've come to learn is that we have a couple family members over here who deal in root work. Blew my mind. And this is no disrespect to them, but I just felt like we needed to know a little bit more about what it was Alexis was involved in. And, you know, I enjoyed picking their brains. And one of the things that they told me is that when you deal in root work and you're dealing in casting spells, the items left over after you cast this spell is supposed to be disposed of. And proper disposal is very important. And there's a few ways you can do this. You can bury it in the yard. You can put it in the river. You can take it to the crossroads, which is like an intersection. And then not only that, some of these items, depending on the spell, has to be disposed of in the graveyard. I also learned that burying something in the backyard keeps something or someone close to you when dealing with love work, love spells. And that struck me because of the conversation that Alexis had with the neighbor. Because right after she told her neighbor that she does root work, she went on to talk about her ex. And let's not forget what Alexis called and told TJ the night before she went to the neighbor's house. Remember this?
Boom, god dang on. Before Lex took this, her being missing, Lex was, I don't know, she was dealing with some kind of spiritual root shit. I don't know what was going on. She was just been talking out outside her head, you know what I'm saying? So Tuesday night, 1:30 in the morning, she called me out she called wake me up talking about some TJ. She say, I know you sleep, I know you gotta work in the morning. She say, but let me tell you something right quick. I'm like, what you talking about? What's up? She talking about some well, my last 5 exes within the last 7 years, they died. Huh? What you talking about? She said, I wish death upon them. I said, bro, you is tripping. You know what I'm saying? You need help, man. Get off my phone. You talking crazy. I hung up.
So Alexis called TJ Tuesday night to tell him that she's wished death upon her last 5 exes. And they died. So in her mind, whatever it was she did worked.